बोलिए श्री कृष्ण बलदेव की जय. Shri Ashutosh Maharaj ki jai. How is everyone enjoying the program so far? With your hands up, please. Who's enjoying the program so far? And why not, right? Today is such an auspicious occasion of Janmashtami. The marvelous performances that you've all seen before you, and the heartwarming stories of Lord Krishna. What more can you ask for? But let me ask you something. Is that what Janmashtami is all about? Is that what Lord Krishna came on earth to teach us? Just his singing and dancing, his bhajans and his leelines, his mischievous behavior. Was that all that Lord Krishna left behind? Because a lot of us have a misconception. And when we hear the name of Lord Krishna, we often combine that with bhajans, with singing and dancing. But Lord Krishna left us such a beautiful message. The Bhagavad Gita, filled with such great knowledge. It covers all aspects of life. It talks about the law of karma, how to attain devotion for the Lord, morality, values. So much is written in the Bhagavad Gita. Even a famous person like Ralph Waldo Emerson, he was one of the first to read the newly translated text, and he writes magnificently. Being touched by the Bhagavad Gita, he writes, I became a transparent eyeball. I am nothing, I see all. The currents of the universal being are circulating through me. I am part or particle of God. What inspired him to write such words? For those of you that don't know who Ralph Waldo Emerson is or was, he was a 19th century Unitarian minister and an enlightened soul. He read the Bhagavad Gita and searched for a spiritual guide. He was a self-realized individual, a Brahmgyani. Many famous people from America were influenced at that time with this newly translated text. So no matter what profession you are in, the Bhagavad Gita applies to everyone, the greatest guide on how to live your life. How come today, when we read this scripture, we don't experience such change, such views as Emerson did? What is missing? Today, for example, let's take a businessman as a profession. And you're all employers, and you're seeking for an employee to fill the position. What are you looking for in your employee? You want someone that has leadership skills, someone that has communication skills, someone that has customer service skills, so much. But what is one thing that is important? Loyalty. Another thing, reliability. You want someone that's hardworking, that's dedicated. And that is what we are missing today. We have attained education. We can take courses to learn customer service skills, but you can't learn reliability. You can't learn honesty at a school. That is from within. And that is what Lord Krishna came to teach on earth, and so did our saints and sages. Today, when we define a successful being, we define them as a highly intellectual person, someone that has a lot of wealth, great position, someone that is well respected. We say, yes, that's a successful person. Where in the definition have morals, values, and ethics gone? To us, that is not important anymore. It's just money. And that is why when we look around in society, look around in this world today, what do we see? Corruption. We see insecurity, crime, violence. Everything is rising. but morality, ethics, and values are decreasing. An American radio talk show host, Bill Cunningham, he shares his views about this, and he says that America is poor. How astonishing is that? How can America be poor? It's the most wealthiest, prosperous country, and yet this man, being a citizen of America, is saying America is poor because America lacks morals, values, and ethics. He explains America is poor because America lacks morals, America lacks values and ethics. So wealth does not make you successful. What makes you successful is if you have morals and values, and that is what we need to instill in us today. What is the use of that education that brings you stress? A lot of us are stressed, right? No matter how intellectual you are, you still are under stress. No matter what great profession you are, even if you are a doctor, an engineer, so forth, we all face stress. And we can't enjoy life with it. No matter how much you have gained, but when stress attacks you, when stress occurs in your life, everything is nullified. It's of no use. The money that you have, you cannot enjoy if you're under stress. The education that you worked for so many years to attain has no value under stress. And what does Lord Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? In chapter 9, verse 1, he says, Vijnanam gyan sahitang yaj gyatva moksha se shubhat. He says, combine your knowledge with experience, and you will be sorrow-free. You will reach peace. But what knowledge and what experience is he talking about? We can apply this in the outer world and in the inner world. Let's take, for example, you have done your PhD. You wrote your thesis, you've done all your exams. What's next? Rotations, meaning that you have to actually go into a clinic and practice what you have learned. If you were going to be operated on, a doctor was going to perform surgery on you, would you say, how many books have you read about operating? How many books have you read on how to do surgery? No. You would want to know how many years of experience do you have being a doctor and performing surgeries. So Lord Krishna explains to us, having knowledge of God about scriptures is not enough. It's not enough. Combine that with practical realization of God. Yes, God can be seen, says Lord Krishna. Experience that. And then only will change occur in your life. Today, is stress being eradicated by just reading scriptures? No. Maybe at that time, but still, we are in stress. We're facing dilemma in life. Like Arjun. He had all the theories before him. He was guided by Lord Krishna himself, but still he needed that practical knowledge of God. He needed that Brahm Gyan, and that gave him courage to perform his actions, to follow Lord Krishna's guidance. My dear brothers and sisters, in the Chandogya Upanishad, very beautifully illustrated how important it is to not only have education, but practical realization. Shvetketu returns back home to his father, Udalak, after attaining years of education. And his father observes his child's behavior and sees that this young son of mine has ego, thinks that he has attained all the knowledge that he needs, has attained so much, but I need to teach him a lesson. So Udalak turns to his son and says, that have you heard what cannot be heard? Have you seen what cannot be seen? So the child looks at his father with confusion in his eyes. Dad, that was not in the curriculum. What do you mean? So the father tries to explain and says, go outside and get a fruit from the banyan tree. So the child hurries up and returns with this fruit. And then the father says, cut it in half. So Shvetketu does as told. And then his father says, what's inside? Seeds. What else? So the father says, take a seed and cut it in half. And Shvetketu, because of ego, thinks, oh, okay, these are tiny seeds, so it must be hard to cut. And this is the task my father wants me to do. And he'll be so happy. So finally, after several attempts, he cuts the seed in half and says, I've done it, here you go. The father says, no, my son, what is inside? What is inside that seed? And Shvetketu looks at his father once again, what is wrong with my dad? Nothing, there's nothing inside the seed. So then Udalak explains to his son that from this nothing became this huge tree. From this nothing became you and I. From this nothing became this whole universe. And that, my son, is the greatest knowledge. And once you know that, you know yourself. You know the true essence of life. And that is what Lord Krishna explains further, chapter 9, verse 2. What does he explain? He says, Raja Vidya Raja Guyahang, Pavitra Midam Uttamam, Pratakshavagamang Dharam Yang Susukham Kartum Mavyayam. He says, God is the greatest science, the greatest secret, and that can be attained through direct perception, which is very easy to attain, because Arjuna attained it at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And he says that this secret, this Brahm Gyan, will show you how to live your life, to follow Dharam, to be a righteous being. And that is what we need today. We need to instill those morals and values and enjoy life. Spirituality shows you that yes, you can live in this world, attain all your desires, but along with that, meditate, be connected to God, be in peace, and enjoy what God has given you. So my dear brothers and sisters, success is not only material gain. Success is to gain God. Success is to be self-realized, be connected, and experience change within. And that is what Lord Krishna came on earth to show us. Spread that message of peace, of unity, of love, of devotion. And with these words, I'd like to rest my views. Boliye Sarv Shri Ashutosh Maharaj ki Jai, Sache Darbar ki Jai.